The top stories tonight in Y News. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. vows to safeguard freedom of information, recognizing its benefits in the government's fight against fake news and deception.
The Department of Justice offers a total of 3 million pesos reward for the information on the whereabouts of former Bureau of Corrections Chief Gerald Bantag and former Security Officer Ricardo Zulueta.
The MRT Free Management eyes to file a fare hike petition in the next 2 weeks, following the approval of fare increases for LRT 1 and LRT 2.
And a heat wave leads to the unfortunate deaths of nearly 100 individuals in the most populous states of India.
Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Monday, June 19, 2023. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. I am Elsie Marcos.
We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am Marvi Delphine.
First in the news. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. graced the 14th edition of the International Conference of Information Commissioners, or ICIC, in Pasay City. The president pledged to safeguard freedom of information, recognizing its benefits in the government's fight against misinformation and deception. Nel Maribuhok reports.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. said his administration is guided by the Freedom of Information or FOI program. The president underscored that fake news has no place in the society we are living in.
Like everyone here, we too recognize as a matter of principle that fake news should have no place in modern society.
At the 14th International Conference of Information Commissioners, President Marcos pitched his administration's effort to fight fake news. These include creating media literacy program.
And as part of our efforts, we will undertake a media and information literacy campaign, which shall be digital, multimedia, and youth-oriented.
PBBM also called on all the branches of government to uphold the people's freedom of information as he promised to advance the campaign against misinformation and disinformation in the country.
Our people can be assured of the continued implementation of the FOI program in the executive branch through the Presidential Communications Office. At this juncture, I reiterate our call not only to the executive branch, but to all branches of government to genuinely uphold and give effect to the people's freedom of information in the course of our day-to-day operations with good faith and with openness.
Expressing support for ICIC's mission, the chief executive assured the Organization of the Philippines' continued promotion of the FOI through a whole-of-nation approach. The ICIC connects information commissioners, ombudspersons, and other bodies charged with overseeing the implementation of access to public information legislation in order to foster the protection and the promotion of access to public information as a fundamental pillar to social, economic, and democratic governance. Nel Maribuhok, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. administered the oath of 40 newly promoted generals and flag officers of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, or AFP, this afternoon. In his speech, the president said that the AFP is now in a new era and is an organization that now looks outward while also building on the gains that the country had made internally. He noted, however, that due to the ever-changing dynamics of geopolitics and the global security environment, more challenges lie ahead. With this, PBBM vowed to strengthen the organization and ensure the well-being of its personnel.
As your President and your Commander-in-Chief, I stand resolutely behind and with the Armed Forces of the Philippines. I will ensure that the strength of the organization and the well-being of all its personnel are attended to.
The Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, has conducted a nationwide Special Election Registration Board, or ERB, hearing today. Dante Amento tells us why.
Commission on Elections, or COMELEC spokesperson Director Janrex Laujanco revealed that they are starting to remove double or multiple registrants in their data. The poll body conducted a nationwide Special Election Registration Board, or ERB, hearing today. This is to clean their voters list for the upcoming 2023 Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan Elections, or BSKE, on October 30.
Sa araw po na ito, June 19, 2023, ay isinasagawa nationwide ang Special Election Registration Board hearing. Ang purpose po nito ay tanggalin lahat ng double at multiple registrants.
Laujanco added they have discovered over 498,000 double or multiple registrants, and almost 120,000 of those are allegedly intentional.
Meron po kaming mga nakita na gumamit ng ibang pangalan. Iniba ang itsura, pero dahil pareho ang kanilang fingerprint, natuklasan at nakita po namin sa kanila. In fact po, 7,000 complaints na po ang nakaredy kami na i-file po noong last week pa.
Meanwhile, the COMELEC explained they will still allow to vote those double or multiple registrants in the 2023 BSKE while pending the resolution of complaints filed against them. But in the time that they will be proven guilty, they will be facing heavy penalties.
Ang election offense po ay may parusang 6 na taong pagkakakulong. Meron pong forfeiture ng right to suffrage, hindi na po makakaboto. At higit sa lahat, merong perpetual disqualification to hold public office. So hindi na po sila makakatakbo sa anumang halal na posisyon or appointed position.
Dante Amento, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
The Department of Justice, or DOJ, has offered a total of 3 million pesos reward for the information on the whereabouts of former Bureau of Corrections Chief Gerald Bantag and former Security Officer Ricardo Zulueta. 2 million pesos for information on Bantag and 1 million pesos for Zulueta, respectively. Justice Secretary Crispin Boying Remulla said the amount is from the DOJ funding. Bantag and Zulueta are tagged as masterminds over the killing of broadcaster Percy Lapid and inmate June Villamor.
Ganun talaga yung nananago eh. Basta nananago, lalabas talaga ang totoo dyan. Mahirap magbuhay wanted eh. Yun talaga yung leksyon dito. Ang buhay wanted, walang gusto maging wanted sa batas. Kaya kung pwede, sumuko na lang kasi iniiwasan nga natin ng reward sana. Gusto natin na maging payapa ang lahat. Ngunit ngayon naman, yun pa rin ang gusto natin na maging payapa ang pagkakahuli kay Mr. Bantag at Mr. Zulueta pagdating ng panahon.
The Philippine National Police, or PNP, has a person of interest in connection with the ambush in Maguindanao del Sur, which resulted in the death of 2 policemen and the injury of 4 others. PNP Public Information Office, or PIO Chief PB Gen Red Maranan stated that the person of interest are the subject of ongoing follow-up operations by the local police.
Ngayon ay tuloy-tuloy yung paghabol ng ating mga pulis sa Police Regional Office BARM at may magandang development sapagkat base sa kanilang pag-iimbestiga ay meron na silang mga persons of interest na tinututukan at sa ngayon ay doon nakatuon yung ating ongoing police operation.
Maranan added that PNP Chief General Benjamin Acorda Jr. visited the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao to receive updates on the ambush and assess the security measures being implemented. Provincial bars are now under the highest security alert status as part of the defensive measures and pursuit operations against the group responsible for the ambush incident. It should be noted that armed men fired multiple shots at a police vehicle carrying 6 policemen in Sharif Agwak, Maguindanao del Sur on June 14. During the said ambush, 2 policemen lost their lives and 4 others sustained injuries.
for our news abroad. Ukraine has taken back settlements in the south of the country over the past 2 weeks since its counteroffensive started. Ruth Bahe gives us the details live. Good evening, Ruth.
Good evening, Marvi. Ukraine has retaken the village of Pyatikapki in the southern Zaporizhzhia region on Sunday, June 18. Russian troops were trying to counterattack with shelling, according to Vladimir Rogov, a Russian-installed official in the region. However, Russia's defense ministry denied the report from their own leader, who is in charge of the area. Zaporizhzhia, along with Bakhmut and Donetsk, has the most intense fighting in the eastern Ukraine. The United Kingdom reports that Ukraine is making small progress in these areas, while Russian forces are defending effectively in the south, with both sides suffering heavy casualties. Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky praised and thanked his military forces for their very effective defense against enemy assaults near Avdiivka and in other areas. Back to you, Marvi.
Thank you, Ruth Bahe, reporting live.
United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken visits China to meet the country's top foreign policy officials to open communication channels in preventing military conflicts. Maven Carrizo tells us why.
Antony Blinken, the United States Secretary of State, and his diplomatic team kicked off talks with senior Chinese officials on Sunday, June 18, and ended his visit to Beijing today with a 3-hour meeting with China's top foreign affairs advisor Wang Yi. Key areas that were at the top of the agenda included the deep challenges between the two global superpowers to overcome mistrust and friction after recent deteriorations in their relations. In a statement by the U.S. State Department spokesperson Matthew Miller, Blinken has emphasized the importance of diplomacy and open communication between U.S. and China to reduce the risk of misconception and miscalculation. Blinken's agenda on his visit also included easing trade conflicts for critical issues concerning trade measures, such as billions of dollars in import tariffs on Chinese-made products, ban on computer memory chips Micron, and the limit of exporting Chinese-produced chemical components to make a synthetic opioid called fentanyl. Meanwhile, China's top diplomats have underscored the root cause of the decline between U.S. and China's relations due to Washington's wrong perception and hyping the China threat in light of their technological development. In its official readout, China has also called Sunday's talk as candid, in-depth, and constructive. Blinken is considered to be the most senior Biden administration official to travel to China, where a satisfactory outcome from his trip is highly expected, by opening communication channels for both sides. Meanwhile, no words yet if he will meet Chinese President Xi Jinping. Maven Carrizo, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
We'll share more global stories with you later.
For those watching our live streaming on YouTube, please click the subscribe button you see on your screen and ring the bell for notification. You may also follow us on Facebook. The Philippine Center for Post-Harvest Development and Mechanization believes that the Rice Competitiveness Enhancement Fund, or RCEF, has made a significant contribution to increasing local rice production. A lawmaker will push for further expansion of the allocation of funds to provide assistance to farmers. Ray Palayo will tell us why.
The local production of rice needs more time to reach the target yield per hectare. Senate Committee on Agriculture and Food Chair Senator Cynthia Villar said that based on the information presented to her by the Philippine Rice Research Institute, the local production could only reach 5 metric tons per hectare in 2024.
I'll file the continuation of RCEP before Usually 6 years. Yung PhilRice kasi nag-project na sila eh. Kailangan kasi maka 6 metric tons per hectare yung kanilang seeds. Ngayon sabi nila by 2024 they can achieve 5. So I have to extend para ma-achieve nila yung 6 para maging competitive yung rice farmers natin.
Senator Villar is the main author of the rice tariffication law that was enacted in 2019. The measure created the Rice Competitiveness Enhancement Fund or RCEF. Yearly, an allocation of 10 billion pesos was set aside from the tariff collected on imported rice. Half of this is for mechanization, while the remainder is divided among seeds, credits for farmers, and technology improvement in farming. The Philippine Center for Post-Harvest Development and Mechanization or PhilMec data shows that the country's mechanization level has more than doubled from 2023 to 2022. The agency's director, Dr. Junicio Alvindia, said that most of the machineries distributed to farmers are from RCEF. The official also noted that rice production costs have been reduced by up to 2 pesos per kilogram. PhilMec also agrees that RCEF should be extended.
Para talaga maging rice secured ang Pilipinas, kailangan po kasi natin at least sa inbred mayroon tayong 6 tons per hectare na average yield at doon sa hybrid naman ay mga nasa 7 tons to 8 tons. So kung maaabot na po yung level na yon, palagay ko napakalaking bagay yung naitulong nung RTLO at saka nung RCEP. Pero hangga't hindi po siguro naaabot yung level na yon, palagay ko sa aking honest opinion ay dapat pong ituloy yung RCEP program natin.
Ray Pilayo, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Bureau of Internal Revenue or BIR is urging the tax-paying public not to obtain their taxpayer identification number or TIN card from online sellers. This warning comes after the discovery of several enterprising individuals offering BIR TIN ID assistance through social media platforms such as Facebook, Shopee, and Lazada. BIR Commissioner Romeo Lumagi Jr. stated that this TIN ID assistance services posted online are not authorized by the agency and are considered illegal. He emphasized that obtaining the TIN card is free of charge and does not require third-party services for it to be issued.
The MRT3 management will also file a fare hike petition in the next 2 weeks following the approval of fare increases for LRT1 and LRT2. JP Nunez will tell us why.
Commuters of the Metro Rail Transit Line 3 may soon have to pay a higher fare as its operator plans to refile a fare hike petition in the next 2 weeks. An MRT3 official stated that they will request a fare increase of 2.29 pesos and a distance-based fare increase of 21 centavos per kilometer.
Alam po naman natin na hindi po nakasabay ang MRT3 dahil po noon sa findings on our petition. So in the next 2 weeks po mag-refile ang MRT3 and then thereafter susundan po natin yung process until such time na mabigyan na po ng full approval ng Secretary to DRRT.
In January 2023, the MRT3 filed a similar petition citing financial difficulties due to insufficient fare revenues to cover the investment in building facilities, maintenance, and operations of the line. Meanwhile, starting from August 2, the LRT1 and LRT2 will implement an increased fare adjustment as approved by Department of Transportation Secretary Jaime Bautista. Assistant Secretary for Railways Georgette Aquino mentioned that President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has also given the go signal for the fare increase.
During the cabinet meeting held on June 6, 2023, The Honorable President announced his approval of the proposed fare adjustment schemes for LRT1 and LRT2, citing that the headline inflation rate has gone down from 6.6% to 6.1%.
Based on the approved fare hike, there will be an additional 2 pesos and 29 centavos on the boarding fee, increasing it from 11 pesos to 13 pesos and 29 centavos. Additionally, there will be an extra charge of 21 centavos per kilometer of the ride, making it 1 peso and 21 centavos instead of the previous 1 peso per kilometer. This will result in a total fare of 35 pesos from end-to-end stations of LRT1 and LRT2. The railway management assures that the fare increase will be used to improve their facilities for the comfort of passengers.
Gagamitin ang increase para ma-improve ang services para sa ating mga pasahero. Magkaroon ng timely maintenance system services at facilities, ma-improve further mga communications, ticketing system, and kung ano pa ang iba pang kailangan para maging mas komportable and accessible.
JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Office of Civil Defense is carefully studying the possibility of a permanent ban on residents within the 6-kilometer permanent danger zone of the Mayon volcano due to its extreme danger for residents. However, it still needs to be discussed thoroughly because many factors need to be considered, such as the livelihood of the residents, especially since most of them are engaged in farming. Mayon volcano is considered the most active volcano in our country today, which poses a threat to residents due to the potential for eruption, rock slides, and lahar flow. In 2014, thousands of residents lost their homes due to the volcano's eruption. After 3.5 years, it showed high activity again, reaching alert level 4.
Tanggapin na natin na talagang napaka-delikado po para sa mga kababayan natin yung pong mga naninirahan sa permanent danger zone na sa ngayon 6 kilometers yan. Tinitignan na natin yung posibilidad na baka maaari na silang ilikas kasi meron naman po talaga na pagbabawal na po dyan dahil yan ay diniklara na bawal ang mga maninirahan dyan.
There are now 3 scenarios that the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, or PHIVOLCS, is observing, which may happen to Mayon volcano in the next few days as it continues to exhibit volcanic activity. Alan Manansala will tell us why.
In today's observation of the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, or PHIVOLCS, the volcanic activity exhibited by Mayon volcano appears to be similar to what occurred during 2014 eruption. During that time, there was continuous lava flow for several months, indicating volcanic activity. Currently, a slower but sustained lava extrusion is being observed in Mount Mayon. This is one of the 3 scenarios that the agency is monitoring.
Scenario na nakikita natin we're hoping na scenario is the 2014 style na eruption na naglava flow lang. Now, kung magtuloy-tuloy yan, nasa alert level 3 lang tayo, pero it could persist for a few months.
In the first scenario, where the alert status has reached alert level 4, it is possible that it will take a few months before the volcanic activity in Mount Mayon subsides. The second scenario entails a possibility of a scenario similar to the 2018 eruption characterized by continuous lava flow, fountaining, occasional explosions, and pyroclastic density currents within a 6-kilometer permanent danger zone, or PDZ. This activity could also last a few months before ceasing. The third scenario is considered the worst-case scenario involving a dangerous explosion. In this case, the materials released by Mount Mayon could exceed the current permanent danger zone. However, the volcanic activity would quickly subside after the explosion, allowing evacuees to return home. Dr. Alanis mentioned that recognizing the parameters for this worst-case event is necessary to assess the possibility of a magmatic explosion of Mayon volcano. Alan Manansala, UNTV News and Rescue, we serve the people, we give glory to God.
Authorities in the most populous states of India are warning residents, especially those over 60 or those suffering from illnesses, to stay indoors during daytime. May Bantag will tell us why.
Nearly 100 people have died in the northern state of Uttar Pradesh and eastern Bihar in India over the last few days as a heat wave sweeps across the country. Authorities found that majority of those who died were over the age of 60 and had pre-existing health conditions, which most likely worsened due to the heat. A medical officer in the Ballia district said that 300 patients had been admitted over the last 3 days, as authorities canceled leave applications of medical staff to handle the situation. Ballia experienced a maximum temperature of 43 degrees Celsius on Sunday, which is 5 degrees higher than normal, with a relative humidity of 25%. Atul Kumar Singh from India's Meteorological Department warns that no relief is expected immediately. In the hotter months, India is known to suffer from extreme water shortages, with millions of people lacking running water. May Bantag, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
After launching his campaign in April, U.S. President Joe Biden made his 2024 re-election pitch in Philadelphia in his first political rally. The American Federation of Labor and Congress of Industrial Organizations, or AFL-CIO, was the host of the said event. The organization includes 60 unions and represents more than 12.5 million workers, ranging from carpenters, airport service workers, and heavy service equipment engineers. Biden has made frequent appearances at union events and has supported collective bargaining at companies. Speaking to 2,000 union members at the event, Biden also emphasized his $1.2 trillion infrastructure package. Biden's primary campaign activity to date also involves fundraising before the year's second quarter ends this month. The city and Pennsylvania had long been at the heart of Biden's political efforts, with Philadelphia as the site of his campaign headquarters in 2020. And those are the reasons behind the news in other parts of the globe. A new bill has been filed at the House of Representatives seeking to mandate the Department of Education to return to the June-March school calendar in light of the outcry from teachers, parents, and students regarding classes held during the scorching summer months of April and May. In House Bill 8550, filed by Makabayan lawmaker and ACT party list Representative Franz Castro, it is stated that the specific provision requires the Department of Education, or DepEd, to commence classes for the school year 2024 to 2025 on the first Monday of June, ensuring a prompt return to the pre-pandemic calendar upon its passage. The bill also includes a mandate for an early closure of the school year 2023 to 2024 in the fourth week of May 2024.
Mula sa 220 days, may buffer naman yan. So 180 days to 220, may buffer yan na ilang days para doon sa sinasabi nating mga bagyo, disruption of classes, etc. So basically naman itong 180 days dapat i-ensure to na talagang magamit ito. Ibig sabihin as a class class days. So kung meron mang pagkukulang doon or kung mapapaikli yun, may mga pamamaraan naman na pwedeng gawin. Etong mga sinasabi ng mga teachers na gawaan ng forms, etong graduation rites, na part naman yan ng mga seremonya sa school, may isama yan doon sa school days kasi ginagawa ng DepEd. Dinalagay yan doon sa kanilang PVP o yung bakasyon na nila. So gusto natin mapasama yan.
The complaints filed against Mabini, Batangas Mayor Nilo Villanueva and his two brothers are now submitted for resolution after the inquest proceedings today, June 19. The Villanueva brothers were arrested for the alleged illegal possession of firearms and explosives through search warrants issued by the court last Saturday. The PNP Criminal Investigation and Detection Group, or PNP-CIDG, filed the complaints, but their lawyer attorney Cipriano Asilov denied the allegation.
At this stage po, hindi na po kami nag-waive ng Article 125, so we did not present any controverting evidence. The case will be resolved on the basis of the evidence and documentary evidence presented by the searching officers.
The kick-off of SB19 Pagtatag World Tour is happening this weekend, and tickets are already sold out. Gladys Tawabi will tell us why.
5 days to go, SB19 fans will be witnessing the group's powerful performance as they kick off their Pagtatag World Tour happening this Saturday, June 24 and Sunday, June 25 at the Araneta Coliseum. As early as now, tickets are already sold out. Fans can't help but pour their support to the Pinoy pop group because for them, the music of SB19 has helped them in their lives.
Actually, I do suffer from anxiety, and every time I do feel like it's attacking me, I just listen to their songs and then I started nare-relax yung mind ko and everything. So I think they really helped me a lot.
To be honest, I like the lyricism sa SB19. Siguro, butang tanong, ang mapa. Because hindi ko muna ka-affected sa ibang yung song, no? Kaya I feel like hindi ko daw ka-relate yung situation. But the mapa itself, nakahibig ko na sa mapa. It's not really tong edge sa nakahibig ko because I'm a very family-oriented person. And I felt like somehow, though may kulang ako, it made me think na may kulang bala ako sa baka sa treatment ko or sa pag-take care ko sa parents ko, amo na. And it is one of the songs na nakatouch ko talaga. Of all the SB19 songs, nakakry-cry, promise.
In this Pagtatag era, SB19 shares the growth of the group and the story they want to share.
But this time sa Pagtatag, ito yung gusto namin ilabas pakinggan nyo. Ganun yung thinking namin. Ito yung nararamdaman namin, ito yung story ng SB19. Bakit namin kailangan ibahin or parang i-mold para mas magustuhan ng mga tao. Para syempre, hindi naman siya SB19 lang. Maraming tao ang tumulong sa amin and maraming tao na gumagabay sa amin para mag-uutong music na to na para naman talagang maging makonvey niya or may paramdam sa tao kung ano yung meaning ng song. So, musically and sonically for this EP, parang ang masasabi ko lang, bukod sa may freedom kami, talagang sigurado kami sa nilabas namin.
This is for the 18 fans. Apart from Metro Manila, the Pagtatag World Tour will also be held in provinces and even abroad.
Kita-kits tayo dyan! See you guys!
Gladys Tawabi, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The AFP Cavaliers need just one more win to qualify for the playoffs of the UNTV Cup Executive Face-Off after defeating the GSIS Furies. On the other hand, the PNP responders claimed the #1 spot by defeating the Malacanang team. Meanwhile, the Senate Sentinels eliminated the Ombudsman Graph Busters from the league. Dina Villamor Camara has the report.
Sentinels is now moving forward in the playoffs after defeating the Ombudsman Busters in a final score of 77-69. The Sentinels stood behind the points given by best players Senator Sonny Angara, who contributed 23 points, 4 rebounds, 3 steals, and 1 assist, and Ray Malaga, who gave 17 solid points, 3 assists, 3 steals for the team. Senators Bongo and Joel Villanueva also gave 13 and 19 points respectively.
Collective effort from everybody, especially do sa 3 senators. Talagang sinabi lang nila sa team na we need to bounce back.
Because of that win, the Senate team are now moving forward in the final 4 round. Meanwhile, the Busters already bid goodbye in the executives face-off.
The performance of the boys, binigay naman nila lahat. Nakita nyo, dumadive sa bola, talagang nagsakripisyo. Pero for one, talagang maganda rin ang nilaro ng Senado. Kay Kuya Daniel at saka sa UNTV, sa lahat ng tumutulong para maging successful ang liga natin. Maraming salamat po sa inyo.
Responders went all the way to the top of the team standings after dominating the OP executives with the scores 96-61. Police Colonel Joshua Alejandro, the back-to-back best player from last game, fired 20 explosive points for the responders. In addition, 29 points for Police Colonel Joel De Mesa, who was also best player from the last game, giving the police squad the solo spot in the #1 ranked. PNP and OP are now both included in the playoffs.
Nagbunga yung ensayo na ginagawa ng sacrifices ng mga officers namin.
Sinabihan ko lang kasi yung mga player na play game, yung gusto nilang ilaro kasi medyo talagang depleted yung team namin, kulang sa yung mga boss namin iba nasa ibang bansa, so hindi namin ma-push yung play na talagang gusto namin pagawa.
Another win is a must for the AFP Cavaliers to secure a spot in the playoffs. This is after AFP won against GSIS with the scores 91-76. Captain Paul Yamamoto and Colonel Glenford Libre were chosen as best players of the game with combined 28 points.
Nag-prepare kami dun sa aming defense pa rin. So we execute well this time. Maganda yung camaraderie ng team. Yun, nakuha namin yung finals game.
After this, the AFP Cavaliers is set for a do-or-die match against the Judiciary Magus this June 28. One more team from this match will be joining PNP, OP Executives, and Senate Sentinels in the playoffs. Rina Villamor Camera, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Our kasambahay, as the world faces these trying times amid the various challenges and uncertainties, we are inviting everyone to join the global prayer for humanity from Monday to Friday, 9:30 p.m. Philippine time, through the social media accounts of Members Church of God International.
Before we close, we will leave you with a word giving glory to God. From the book of James chapter 1 verse 20, it says, "For the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of God." Those are the reasons behind the news June 19, 2023. Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold. I am Marvi Delfin, live from Perth, Australia.
Because we need to know, we will always ask why. I am Elsie Marcos, live from Auckland, New Zealand. We serve the people, we give glory to God.